Heart of Texas Media, any and all things Texas. And in the great state, this is a proud state. You know, us Texans are proud to be from this state. And we also take pride, great pride in the cities that we come from and the places that we reside. Personally, I moved a few times as a child, and my roots run deep in Texas. So I just claim South Texas as my home, but I really got people all over Texas, literally. But I wonder what life would have been like if we stayed here and didn't move there, or if we moved from this place to this place instead of the other way around, or whatever the case with the dynamic of where I lived and how I moved as a child. Nonetheless, I'm proud of all the places that were a part of my upbringing, and I believe it all had a purpose, but that's just me, not to get philosophical on you, but we want to take a moment to look at Megan Thee Stallion and her connection to San Antonio. We want to make it clear from the jump. Megan is from Houston. She claims Houston. Let her claim Houston. San Antonio is not in the business of claiming people who don't want to be claimed, okay?
Because I ain't in the business of keeping no when they don't want to be kept.
We simply want to add a footnote to the story of arguably the biggest rapper in Texas as of the time of this video. I don't even know the numbers. We don't look at record sales or anything. But she probably is, I would say, the biggest rapper in Texas at the time of this video. And San Antonio is always an interesting footnote in so many stories. So let's take a look at where this comes from, because if you didn't know, she was born in San Antonio, and she says as much. And again, we gonna give her that. She was born in San Antonio, but she was taken right back to the H. Now, right back to the H, I don't know what that really means. What she really means, does that mean she was taken back in elementary school? Because I've seen where there's claims that she actually went to elementary school, and if that's the case, then that adds an element to it as far as a footnote, because I know for me, there's individuals that I went to elementary school that you have maybe not a friendship with, but at least a lifelong bond, and that's something that you can't be really disregarded, you know. But we don't know. We only know what she tells us, and what we have individuals that can add to the discussion. So I'm looking at this this post. Shout out to OG Trigger Duck on he's a San Antonio rapper as well. OG rapper. Shout out to OG Trigger Duck. Posted this on this Facebook group, History of the East Side San Antonio edition. So anyway, the East Side of San Antonio is also a footnote when it comes to San Antonio, and when it comes to a lot of interesting stories. The East Side of San Antonio particularly. And Megan's mother appears to be from the East Side. Sam Houston, class of 89 to be exact. So wow, Sam Houston. So Sam Houston is, in case those who are not familiar with San Antonio, Sam Houston is East Side High, so to speak. It's the pride of the East Side. Once the Cherokees, now the Hurricanes, and yours truly is a proud alumni of Sam Houston. So yeah, so Sam Houston is an interesting footnote in the story of the East Side, and the East Side is an interesting footnote in the story of San Antonio. San Antonio is an interesting footnote in so many different stories. So yeah, Megan Thee Stallion, Sam Houston is a footnote in the story of Megan Thee Stallion, because her mother Hollywood Thomas went there. For all intents and purposes, uh, rest in heaven to Hollywood Thomas, Megan Thee Stallion's mother. It looks like she was quite the hot girl. You know, she I see some of these comments. Was my homegirl. Hollywood was my homegirl throughout middle and high school. So her mother definitely is from San Antonio. So her mother definitely got all her game from San Antonio, and she was quite the hot girl. And if you a hot girl, if Sam Houston, and I say that with all endearment as far as hot girl, the it girl, happening girl. I need an around the way girl. When you are that at Sam Houston, that's notable. That's something to say something because that's that population produces exceptional individuals. So it looks like her mother had her penchant for music, and looks like her brother Lex comes up in a few of these comments. I guess he was that dude too. It looks like he dated quite a few women from some of these comments. Okay, I won't go through all these comments, but okay. See, look, here we go. Somebody looks like they know some. Her mother was born and raised here. She went to PV and lived in Houston where she met Megan's dad. She moved back to SA briefly to have her child. Megan has no history other than being born. All she knows is Houston. Okay, see, there you go. And I would give her that. I would give her that. Again, we're not trying to claim her. We just trying to throw our little hat in the ring and add our footnote to the story. That's all. So it's interesting reading that about her mother. She went to PV, lived in Houston, met Megan's dad. That's the trajectory. That's the story of a lot of ladies from the east side, from Sam Houston. That's the story. That's especially for the it girls, the hot girls. They go to PV or they go to TSU, and they gonna meet them in Houston, dude, and they gonna stay in Houston. They become part of the Houston life, but San Antonio's still in them. You can kind of tell, at least I can kind of tell a lady who's fully entrenched in Houston culture, but still got that San Antonio in it. It's something different. It's something different. So the question does beg the offer. If Megan had grown up in San Antonio and then maybe moved to Houston, would she have been the same? Would she have the same game? Or perhaps she got her game from San Antonio because her mama was from San Antonio, and her mama appears to have been that lady. Like these are some of her friends at her home going. So again, our condolences always to Megan, and rest in peace to her mother. So yeah, this one says, small world, Holly and I went to PV together and she had pretty eyes. She was beautiful and thick. That explains why the Stallion is 5'10". Her mom gave her good genetics. Holly was tall for a girl. I will wish Holly was here to share her daughter's success. Rest in heaven, Holly. So sad. Right on. This Marcellus Fox says, that's good. She wasn't raised here. She would have never became the Stallion if she would have stayed here. And we don't know. It possibly is the truth. I ain't gonna lie to you. Possibly the truth. Something about San Antonio. But hey, man, I'm not gonna discredit my city and the contribution that it played to who she is. Her mama got a game from San Antonio, and so she also had another piece of content that came out where she was talking about her grandmother, where she said her grandmother is basically Mexican because she's from San Antonio.
My grandma speak fluent.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, she's from San Antonio.
Well, okay, so she Mexican.
Basically, she be speaking Spanish to people, and they'll look at me, and I'm like, no.
You want to roll just to be.
She talked about some of the food that she eats, like hot Cheetos and pickles. She does that. Man, that's if you from San Antonio, you know some Mexicans. They do that. So man, you can't deny the you can't deny the San Antonio influence in her somehow, some way. And she had a post talking about her grandmother is basically Mexican because she's from San Antonio. A lot of people took exception to that, and some people try to defend her because in large pockets of San Antonio, lots of communities, with the Hispanic community being so prominent, so well represented, there is going to be a mixing of the races of Hispanics and African Americans and Black people, and you see that quite a bit. And you do see some alliances, especially in certain areas, certain pockets, certain communities. You will see some strong alliances between Hispanics and Mexicans and Black people, and you definitely will see a lot of intermingling. Romantically, you see a lot of there's a large population of mixed babies. Okay, brothers in the mijas. But anyway, yeah. But a lot of people took exception to that. And again, some people try to defend it. This one says, with the Black and Hispanics community so intertwined in SA in both communities, whole family and neighbors above all else, I see why this is true. She said it. She just said it brazenly. I have Black friends that speak better Spanish. I've seen that, especially a lot of the older generation. They were better educated and or at least took it more seriously as far as learning Spanish. Dance better the cumbias than I do. We love each other. We're family. It's a community unlike any other, and I love it. You see that. You do see that. And in certain pockets, especially on the west side, you'll see pockets of communities where the Black people and the Mexicans are truly intertwined, truly a community, truly a family, and it's beautiful to see. You do see that in San Antonio. Not everywhere, not always, but you do see that quite a bit. It's a beautiful thing to see. But people still will try to make their distinction. So that's all I got for you. Heart of Texas Media Network, any and all things Texas. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Do you know Megan Thee Stallion? Did you know her mama? Did you know anything about her upbringing that you could add to the discussion? Talk about it. Talk about who cares. You can tell me who cares if she was born in San Antonio. She's from Houston, which I agree. Hey, man, whatever. Peace and blessings.